Hi guys, Paul from the innovation community here. Today I'm with Alejandro Mendoza, who, having worked as the Chief Information Officer for Sherwin Williams Latin America, is now working to help data become more diverse. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a bit more about yourself in a few words.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, I am Alejandro Mendoza. I'm a father of 3 kids that I love very much. I'm married. As a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, we are going to be married for 19 years. So I'm still in love with my wife. This is in the personal area. About my career, well, I have a major in computer science. Also, I have a master's degree in computer science, and I hold 5 certifications that they are valid worldwide. I have about 22 years experience working in IT.
Brilliant. So where did your IT career really start?
I started as a developer when the boom of the ERPs, more specific with this ERP that is worldwide known SAP. I started as a developer. Then I moved to consultant, the functional side. I worked for Andersen Consulting. They give me this opportunity of start as a developer. But you know, this is something that I really appreciate because it gives me the opportunity to know the technical side and the functional side. So after that, I start with different roles until now that I'm the Chief Information Officer. But this opportunity of start as a developer, then functional project manager, and security, it helps me a lot to understand nowadays all the teams that report to me.
And what are you up to in the current role?
Well, right now I'm advisor for some companies in Mexico. I am living, I have 8 months living in England. I'm working remotely for Latin America, more specific for Mexico. I'm the advisor of some companies, working as an external consultant, working very close with the CEOs. And I think this opportunity and the technology that we have nowadays help me to work remotely, even though before the pandemic.
So at the heart of it, what really interests you about working as a head of digital transformation?
The opportunity to build new things, not only about technology, but also for me, this digital transformation, it's new process, new way of thinking, new mindset. So I think companies need all of that. I mean, it's not all about technology. It's also about process. It's also about people. So this role of I see it as the champion of create new things, and that is something that I love, to create new things.
And before we spoke about the work you're doing on diversity, how can data really help diversity moving forward?
Well, I think in my experience, when you have and work with different teams, different cultures, to get ideas from different people, it's important. And diversity is key nowadays. I mean, to have a gender balance in your teams, to promote, as a matter of fact, to have a different way of thinking. This is something that we should, as a leaders, appreciate and encourage our teams to have more diversity, because for me, the point is to have different ideas help us to create new way of thinking, new ways of making things happen. So diversity for me is key in the role of that I have.
Fantastic. So what are some of the major successes that you've achieved over your career so far?
That's a very good question. I would say two. One of them is some years ago, we implement SAP, the ERP SAP, in 3 months and a half. And nobody believes that we are going to achieve that. And when we create a plan about how long it will take us to implement SAP, because usually when you implement one of these biggest ERPs, you take 1 year, just 1 year and a half, sometimes 2 years. So if you did in 1 year, sometimes you continue do it implementing in the subsequent months. So for us, 3 months and a half, we get the requirements. As I mentioned before, this opportunity to be developer, functional analyst, to go through different roles, help me to understand the requirements. We establish a very transparent and honest achievements with the business, and we say we can do it in 3 months and a half, no more, no less. And maybe you will not believe me, but exactly 3 months and a half, we go live. And why we do that? Because we have the right team, we have the commitment with the business, and of course the consultant help us, but it was a combination of all these parts. So it was a record worldwide in SAP to implement in a pharmaceutical company in 3 months and a half. This is one of my biggest achievements. And the another one is when I start working as a regional CEO, we start implementing new standards, new KPIs, new way of thinking, and it helps us to be the #1 region worldwide. So for me, this is my second achievement that I am proud of that.
And tell us about another time you effected change in a major organization and some of the challenges that came with that.
When I'm working in a big company around 70,000 employees, that they invite me to be the CEO for one of the regions. When I start there, I realized that there were no standards, there were no KPIs, there were no governance. So again, for me, one of the things that I love is to create new things, but also it's not just to create the wheel because we want to create new things. I mean, if you have already standards, or you have you already worldwide, there is information about how to work, then from my point of view, you need to use it. That's the reason why I always try as a IT leader to be constantly train or learn about new technologies, but also new ways of doing things. So this is a great challenge, but also a great transformation, because we moved from everybody working in their own way in 8 different countries to just working as just one team with the standards, with KPIs, with governance, with the strategic. So for me, this is a great move from everybody working in each country in a different way as a different teams, as just working in the region as just one team.
Brilliant. So what do you think the impact of technology has had on all of these successes you've had? And what effects do you think in the future?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
I just asked what impact you think technology will have on the future. in terms of like information and data?
Well, we can see nowadays that when we use technology, it start getting all our data, all our information, everything that I can see that in the near future, the technology will help us more and more in order to go faster, to do things with less, and for the finance director, it would be good to hear that also with less cost. It would be a corp and that IT is going, but it's important to understand that technology nowadays is already here. I mean, talking about artificial intelligence, it's not like we talk about a lot of years in the future. Right now, we have artificial intelligence, and we like it or not, we wanted to use it or not, it's already here. So I would say that nowadays, all the people that work in IT, we have a great opportunity because technology is helping us a lot in order to prove that we can help our internal and external customers, again, to achieve more with less, to be more efficient, to be more close to external customers.
Fantastic. So I guess a big part of your role is about leadership. How would you describe your own leadership style?
That's a very good question. I think that question should be for my team members, but I consider myself as a coach, a leader as a coach. Why I say that? Because I like to understand my team members. I mean, we are people. Even though that we are in technology, we are not machines, robots. So for me, it's very important to touch base with them in a frequently basis, to understand them, to encourage them to keep growing, because from my point of view, everything should work as I was not there as a leader. So for me, it's important to understand where they are, what are the challenges, to train them. I think this is also a key part of this is what I consider as a coach leader, because I need to understand where they are, because each person is in a different stage of technology, of skills. So for me, it's important to understand where they are and to work as a one team. And for that, you need to be very close with them, providing information about what is the strategy, what is the goal. So again, talking about this opportunity that I have had in the past, working in different companies as a CIO of several countries, it's important to understand each person in order to each person work as another, as just one team, because it's not the infrastructure team with the functional team. I have seen in some companies that sometimes even in IT, they see as a different teams. So again, for me, this leadership that I consider myself as a coach helped me to put everybody, to understand everybody, and to put everybody with the idea of the mindset of we are just one team. So if we need to achieve something, if we have one goal, it's not the developer team, it's not the infrastructure team, it's everybody. Everybody needs and has to achieve that goal. So that's the reason why I consider myself as a coach leader.
Brilliant. So where do you see the biggest opportunity for improvement within digital right now?
I think it's not about technology, it's about the mindset of the people. Why? Because I consider that in different companies, they were not ready to move in this technology journey. and it depends of the sector of the company, of course, because it's different if we talk about a bank, an insurance, or about manufacturing company. I mean, each sector has different opportunities, but from my point of view, the biggest opportunity is the mindset of the people that embrace all these technology, change their mind about IT. Sometimes I have seen that they seen as a cost center, that we have to have IT because I don't know why, but we need to have them. So this is not, I mean, IT is here to help them again to achieve more with less, to create new different ways of doing. So answer your question is the opportunity is in the mindset of the people that I think we still have that opportunity.
And this is always a good one. What was the biggest mistake you made during your career?
Wow, that's a challenging question, because trying to think about it, it's I would say that I consider myself a privileged person, because I think I have achieved a lot of good things with different teams and companies. If I would say my biggest mistake is, to be honest, I don't remember something that I can regret, but I think we have events that are good. Of course, everything we can improve and do better. But if I would say it, I can, it's not that like my biggest mistake, but to do it different is to improve more about the way of thinking about the people in the business, in the IT, so they can understand again about this mindset of doing things in a different way. But to be honest, I right now I can remember something that I would say was my biggest mistake.
And how has COVID-19 affected your role and your organization?
Well, I think COVID-19 is affecting everybody, and from my point of view, everything has two sides of the coin, right? I mean, there are positive things and there are things that are not quite positive. So the good thing from my point of view in my organization is that this mindset of embracing the technology, that want to do things in a different way, it's happening. Not because they wanted in the first instance, it's because there is no another choice. So again, this is good from the point of view IT. The bad thing is that again, because not everybody has this mindset of doing things in a different way, like working from home. I mean, it's from my point of view, and in case of IT, this is something that I promote to do it before the pandemic. Like, yeah, we can do it. I mean, and sometimes I have people asking me, how do you know if people is not sleeping or is not doing another thing and working? And I always answer is, we have KPIs, we have dashboard. So if the people work, from my point of view, 1 hour a day, but they is working according to the KPIs with the goals, I mean, we can have a person that is very efficient, and maybe one person take 1 hour and another person take 8 hours. So again, this COVID-19 help us in IT to improve and embrace more about technology. But the challenge is that, of course, it's impacting companies. And again, from my point of view, the mindset of doing different things in a different way is the most challenging thing that companies are facing in the current time.
And what's the best piece of advice you ever received?
I would say that keep dreaming, keep challenge, keep doing things in different way, keep asking questions. And I am one of the persons when we are in the commit of different directors. Is like I raise my hand and I say, why we cannot do it in a different way? I mean, it's not to propose for just propose. It's think about what we can do in a different way. It's what I love about IT, and it's this advice is what I really like. That let's keep asking questions. Let's keep thinking in a different way. So, from my point of view, this is the best advice that I have received.
What are you curious about right now?
Well, I am planning in the near future to start to go deeper in artificial intelligence. Again, from my point of view, it's with us already, but we have a lot of opportunities in different areas about artificial intelligence. So it would be a great opportunity and a lot of space for different people to do more things in a different way. So even though that I like to read about artificial intelligence, I like to be part of different groups in Latin America, also in Europe, but I would like to go deeper in artificial intelligence. So this is something that I would like to go deeper, and I think I will do it because I am working at different things, but I'm curious about to get more knowledge about artificial intelligence.
Who is currently your favorite thought leader or author, whether that's in like digital or just in business in general?
I can say that I have different person that talking about digital that I follow, but if I can say that somebody is an influencer for me, I can say is my brother. Maybe he's not a famous person. It's not, but he's somebody that influenced me frequently. I mean, I have a good conversation with him, and we talk about technology, we talk about business, we talk about culture, we talk about different things. So sometimes I think we don't need to search far away to have somebody to influence us or to inspire us. Also, in my case, I would say it's my brother.
And last question, what advice would you give for aspiring leaders in digital transformation?
I would say that first, think about the business. I mean, from my point of view, it's not just about technology. It's not just that we can buy new technologies and implement it. It's a mindset. It's an idea that all the organization needs to have. I mean, I have heard sometimes that people ask, what is the strategy about IT? Well, the strategy that we have in IT is the strategic that will help the business. It's just one strategic. It's that we need to follow. So my advice is think about what is the strategy that we have in your business, what they are doing, that what they would like to achieve. Because again, it's not that we should buy technologies just for buying. It's understand what the business needs and work together as just one team to achieve that role. So again, it's think about what the business needs in order to implement, not just for implement technology. Is the technology that your organization needs.
Great. That was Alejandro Mendoza. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.